Welcome to the first episode of uAssociate. I'm Taylor,
I'm Matt.
and we'll just be honestly sitting here drinking coffee and talking about
What
world.
life is, man.
I guess, life, our
Yeah.
perceptions, our experiences, and hopefully it can resonate, it can relate. People can find this somewhat useful.
Get something out of it, for sure.
At the very least, find it entertaining. Right?
Yeah, that's all we want, man.
So, Matt, why don't you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I own a company called Mind Body Fusion. I work with athletes, the mind, what they do, what they think, their zone, their triggers. We train them in the gym a bit, but it's basically more mental focus, all that stuff. So that's not what we're going to bring from this, though. That's not the whole point of this.
No.
Right? Because our thing, like Taylor said, is to bring the experiences together.
But that will tie in a little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Todd.
I think because you're so involved in it and so...
It's natural to come in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Go for it.
Me, I'm in school currently. I stopped going to school for a little bit. When I say school, I mean university. To work full time. I worked full time for about a year. In that year, I tried to start up my own company, and I didn't have adequate training.
Yeah.
I was destined to fail, and my pride didn't overcome me. It didn't get the best of me. So I was able to bow out gracefully before I set myself up for failure. And now I'm just still in school.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what it is.
Figuring
I'm
it
just
out.
finishing it up, and then I'll go back into the real world eventually, right?
No one wants to come in the real world.
Well, what would you define as the real world?
Real world, man. I mean, from what everyone goes off of, or like my own personal.
Your own personal. That's all you can, like, you can't really generalize it based on everybody else's. Your own personal opinion.
Honestly, man, real world for me, it's like as cliche as it sounds, it's being as happy as possible.
Really?
Being as happy as possible. Like, you got to think, real world for a lot of people is like grind, make money,
Yeah.
do what they got to do, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as be all end all. I mean, real world to me is like really what makes me happy, what I want to do going forward. That's why I started my company.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not so much for the money part. Like that, just if you're really good at it, it follows.
Yeah.
You know.
See,
Why? What do you think?
I would define what you define as the real world. I would define that as like life, right?
Yeah.
Like your purpose, not necessarily your purpose of life, but I guess the purpose of life is to be happy.
Yeah.
At least mine is. I would define the real world as anything that you're not protected for. It's like when you really fully go out and see the world for what
thrown
it is.
into
Like
the rough.
you're not really protected by your parents and stuff like
man.
that. See, I wouldn't define myself as necessarily all the way in the real world yet, because I mean I still depend on my parents for a lot.
Exactly.
Right? So,
But you know what, man? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but like going in on the whole thing about that's why I see it more as a happiness thing, because your parents always teach you one path.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Right, and sometimes not necessarily everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So that's why real world to me, it's like it's going in with that. But
yeah, that's another thing. Like people who are just getting ready to graduate, or have recently graduated, or are even still going through school. Their parents always told them, okay, you go to school, you get a good job, you get good grades, you get a good job, you find a wife or whatever, a husband, and you settle down, buy a house, hopefully get a dog, kids. Like it's like a linear path to like it's already, they want it set up for you, and obviously they want the best for you.
Of course.
But if you just follow that and do what they want you to do, is that really going to make you happy?
Well, that even comes down to the whole success part of it, right? Like
what is success? How would you define success?
Success is the same thing, man. It's the same as that real world. It's like it's being happy doing what you love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like the whole money hungry, crazed thing, I think that's really a fad. Like you got to think, there's so many billionaires now, or like whatever, trying to give back because they're not happy with the money they have.
Well, I don't even know if they're not happy with the money they have. It's just like money can only take you so far. It's like, okay, I have all this money, like I can buy anything I want. These things are just material. What do I really want? Like if I want it, I'll get it. But what else can I do?
How much
like,
deeper?
What am I gonna do? I can't take it with me when I die.
Yeah.
I could leave some to my kids, but what am I gonna do with all this money?
You know what, man? And that really goes off too, like the deep, like I've noticed now talking to people, even with this whole technology thing going on.
Yeah.
People are deeper thinkers, a little bit more of deeper thinkers now, I find, because they're always caught up. Well, not caught up. They're always trying to look for more meaning behind something than what they see up front. Like they're always looking deeper for something. Like I have one friend, for example, and she'll always go in on, but why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I honestly think because you're a deep thinker, you surround yourself with those who are like you, right? I don't think there are more deep thinkers. I honestly think, based on people I talk to or things like that, I think that they're more shallow thinkers, or they're more people who just see things on Facebook, agree with it, and they allow that to think for them, and they honestly convince themselves they're deep thinkers, but when you test them on it, it's like
it's surface.
It's like, well, yeah, it's like, well, I don't know, I don't get it. Like, of course you don't get it because you didn't think of that yourself. You know what I mean?
Facebook thought of it for you. But you know what? Going off that, then I want to get into this first. Let's tell them what uAssociate's all about.
Okay, uAssociate.
Like going off the whole Facebook fad, what everyone's doing. What's uAssociate for?
uAssociate is to, honestly, like I said before, uAssociate is us speaking on our experiences, our perceptions, and hopefully you can take something from this. Hopefully it'll provoke some thought, and hopefully you can relate to us. You can associate yourselves with us.
Yeah.
Like,
even that, and like helping you guys, like we said, find your path a little bit.
Yeah.
This
is geared towards recent graduates, people about to graduate, people about to enter the real world. Like we're young. Like we're fresh out of university. Well, I'm still in it, but
same age.
Yeah, we're just honestly, we're just hoping that we can help somebody or multiple people do not necessarily what they think they should, but what they feel is right for them. Because what's right for somebody, or what your parents tell you is right, or what they think is right for you, might not be right for you, because you are the only person who knows, quote, you.
Exactly.
Right? So,
going off your own strengths.
Yeah. Like, nobody's going to know exactly what's right for you, but you.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So hopefully you
can associate.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
I like that play. I like that play on words.
Anyway, so going into associating, tell them what your little business was originally going to be about. What you wanted to do, almost. Like very surface wise.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Honestly, I was going through my 4th year of university, and I was noticing people were stressed out. They didn't know because they had structure all their lives. They went to elementary school, grades 1 through 8. Everything was structured. They went through high school. Everything was structured. They went to university, less structure, but still had some structure. And now you are thrown out into the world, and there's absolutely no structure.
Yep.
And you're like, you're lost. You have no idea what to do. You don't have a job.
That's the thing I was going to say, sorry. With real world and happiness, the hardest thing is finding that structure that you can say, this is my structured happiness from here on out.
Yeah.
You know? So, structure, I think,
and it was to honestly help them find. They had no jobs. They had no idea what they wanted to do, how to go about it. Some people were exiting university, they never worked. Yeah. It was always, their parents were like, yeah, study throughout, whatever. Do whatever you want this summer. You worked hard. And then they're thrown out into the world, and their parents like, get a job. And it's like, well, I have no experience. I don't even know what I want to do.
You know what? I want to ask you something since we're on it.
Yeah.
About jobs. So you're coming fresh out of university.
Yeah.
You've got no experience.
Yeah.
Or, well, we'll call it company experience. Okay? Because, like startups, for example.
Yeah. You
don't really have too much experience unless you worked somewhere else, right? So going on that, what do you think about the whole real job type of thing? Do you think any job, getting out and just getting your experience in anything as soon as you're out of university, meeting as many people as you can, do you think that trumps waiting the year to find a real job, if you will, something in your field? Do you think it trumps that any day?
That getting some experience based on experience that you want?
Well, yeah, I mean that, but like, let's say you graduate with, I don't know, something for like an HR geared career, right? But then you've got, cause I'll use it since for us, like a bank telling job.
Yeah.
That comes into play and says, you know what, we can help you out, the finance, here's a job, whatever. Would you rather say, you know what, I'll take that time, because finding a job is what, a 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Would you rather take that 9 to 5 instead of go work?
Instead of go work
at the bank? Like just waiting for that opportunity to find a real job.
If you're broke and you have no money coming out of university, take anything that comes your way.
That's true.
Just honestly, I think if you feel that it's right, or if you think it's going to be beneficial to you, and honestly, experience in any job can be beneficial as long as you're willing to constantly learn and take lessons from whatever you're doing. I think if your ultimate goal is A, but B comes into your lap, take B and don't lose sight of A.
Exactly.
Don't lose focus of A. If your end goal is to start up your own company, well, do your 9 to 5, and from 5 to, let's say, 11 when you go to bed, work on your craft, learn something, practice, make connections, always be don't lose focus on your end goal.
You know what? That's a very good point, because the thing I noticed a lot with like our generation, if you will, okay, everyone says we're entitled. I don't think we have that entitled feeling. I think a good amount of us have a go-getting feeling. You know what I mean? Like we've seen our parents do the 9 to 5. A lot of our parents do the 9 to 5. Yeah. Right? But now I feel like we're in this era or this generation of startups. Like a lot of people want to do a startup, right?
Yeah.
But what I've realized a lot of people our age aren't really getting yet is that going into any job, so like that job that trumps everything, right? I don't think people are really seeing the real value of working for a different corporation while waiting for where you want to be. Like, I don't think people are really looking for what they can grab from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
there's so much.
They have their sight set on A, and they're not even willing to entertain the idea of B, because what they want is A. So if they don't get A, then they're all like upset, and they're not realizing that you can take B and learn from it.
Yeah.
Like you can honestly, you can learn from anything. And when you think that you're too smart to learn is when you are too dumb to correct yourself.
So I don't even know, man, if it's like an entitled generation we're in, because I don't think we all think we're entitled to walk out of university and get a huge job like our parents. Well, most people think.
A lot of people do. That's the thing. A lot of people do. A lot of people think, oh, I went to U of T, so I need this 6-figure job right coming out of school. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Not only is that not realistic, that's not the proper way to think.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be saying what is right to think and what is wrong to think, but like
there's boundaries.
Yeah, honestly, if you get a $30,000 job coming out of school, it's not great money by any means, but if you can learn something from that, that's experience right there. That'll put you head and shoulders above somebody who's just waiting for that 6-figure job. Like, how are you going to get that?
You know what, man? I personally think we have a lot of people that are just, a lot of people in our generation that are scared. Like, scared of no stability, if you will.
Of course.
Like, I think people...
You want to know why?
Why?
Because this is their first time without structure, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. The unknown is scary.
It's true.
The unknown is very scary.
But man, I think that whole want of get a great job at the start, like, I'll be honest, I saw my own dad when I was younger. Like, I saw him work his way up through a bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen him start at that $20K job where he did.
Yeah.
And now he's like right at the top,
my mom
right?
Do the same
thing. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are scared to start like our parents did, to be honest, man. Mm-hmm. I really think a lot of people, that's why it's more so people wanting to come out. And
I think it's also, people see their parents where they are, and they don't realize that their parents started right where we are.
Yeah.
Right? Like their parents, some of the parents didn't even go to university. They started like doing something, whatever. Like they might have started mowing lawns or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just never know. Like, I'll put this in perspective. When I was younger, then when I say younger, I mean like 8 years old, 9 years old, like grade 4, and like my mom would send me to a different school or whatever she did.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Mom, you don't get it. And she would always say, do you think I was born this age? Like, do you think I was born old? Like, no, I grew up.
Yeah.
But I'd never really understood that until really like last year.
Yeah.
And you forget that your parents had a journey.
You know what, man? Isn't it funny how you go through crap in life and it's like, shoot, my mom said that to me like way back when. It's almost a scary feeling. Like it's almost something you don't want to see because it's like, I don't want to be like them. But
the worst thing, I think the worst phone call I ever had to make was one in university where I had to call my mom and I realized that she was right. And I had to say, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because you were right. And they're just trying to teach us. And we're honestly, we just think they don't understand because we can't relate to them at that point in time.
Exactly.
I think our friends are more important, whatever. And they're just trying to tell you what's right because of their experiences.
And you know what, man? That's exactly where it's nice that we got to that because it ties right back to what we were saying at the start. The whole thing about being scared to go work for someone else just for a bit and learn from them.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people have that open. Okay, guys, just on the side, we're outside doing this podcast. So if we break and you hear like chewing or something like that, it's because there's bees around. But I really think people are scared to go learn and open their minds.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think people think they're above certain things. And honestly, I don't think I'm smart or too smart or whatever. I honestly think I'm smart enough to realize that I'll never be smart enough. There's always something that you can learn.
But you should want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not something you should have to do. Like, I don't understand people who don't like learning. Like, I can understand people who don't like classrooms or like that kind of structure because not everybody, like the teacher's going to teach one way and not everybody learns the same way. But to not like learning, like that's weird to me.
Yeah.
That's honestly weird to me. Like, you should honestly enjoy learning something new because like it just opens you up to more opportunity, more experience. Like, I just don't get it.
You know what, man? And that's like a bunch of people that they settle in school, okay? Like, put it this way. Going to school, first of all, it's a huge, everyone already knows, like, it's a huge commitment just to go to school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the even bigger commitment in school is being able to go those, what is university, 8 months?
Yeah.
A whole year?
Yeah.
Being able to go 8 months of fully being interested in what you're learning. Yeah. Like, that's a big commitment, man.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I think a lot of people, too, when it comes to wanting to learn, I think people are, they're short-circuiting themselves, man. Yeah. Like, why would you go into a program that you're just going into a program for?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to try and be excited about what you're going to learn? Like, for me, man, okay, you know what, with the exception of, like, 1 or 2 classes sometimes a semester that you just have to get through. Yeah. But, like, the bulk of my program, I can say I love learning about, like, anatomy and psychology, you know? I love that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I honestly respect art schools because those are people who they honestly, like, probably even against their parents' advice, like, oh, go get a business degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they honestly saw something, they were interested in learning, and they did it because they wanted to learn it. Like, they truly wanted to learn it. What's the point of going to university and spending X amount of dollars, like X amount of thousands of dollars on something you're not interested in, you might not even use? You know what I mean? Like, I was working at a bank and specializing in mortgages, and there were people there with journalism degrees and stuff like that, and it was like, well, why did you take journalism? Oh, well, that's what I was interested in. Oh, why are you here? Oh, it's a job. Yeah. It's like, what?
It's true, man. And you know what?
Pursue it.
I can honestly say, from my own experience doing everything with mind-body fusion and everything, there is money, if you really want to bring it back to money, there is money and a career in your passion.
Yeah.
You just really have to find it. Like, that's what takes the most opening up of a mind.
Yeah.
Like, for example, for me, I went to school for kin, right? And kin, like, the standard kin for me is, okay, after kinesiology school or your undergrad, go get a master's in something. Go
Physiotherapy.
Exactly. Whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I never knew, for me, it would just take, like, the whole right turn of a mindset. Like, yeah, I personally train some of these athletes, right? But, like, the bulk of my practice is it's finding their zone. It's finding their...
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really go to school for that. Yeah, that was experience of me being an athlete myself and using those techniques on myself.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, that's my passion.
Yeah.
So it's willing how hard you want to work. And that goes back to the art school. Like, I can't believe how many people frown upon their kid going to art school.
It's like because parents. They don't see the long-term benefit of it. But realistically, the long-term benefit, like in their head, it's just starving artists, right?
Yeah.
But the long-term benefit is their kid doing something they're happy. Even the short-term benefit is their kid doing something they're happy with, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, if photography doesn't work out, or visual art doesn't work out, or whatever doesn't work out,
right,
then okay, the kid goes back to school, whatever, get
Worst
something
case.
more general, whatever they do.
Yeah.
But ultimately, every parent wants their kid to be happy, and they don't see an art degree going towards their long-term happiness. They just see a starving artist. They just say, what are you going to do?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
I really don't think, man, parents understand their kids as well as they think they do.
Yeah.
I think, well, for me personally, I always had in the back of my mind sports psychology.
Yeah.
Right? But I never went to do my master's for it. It's like the art school kids, if you will, okay? They go to art school, but they find something else while they're in there. Like, I don't think the parents understand, for most of those kids doing their thing in school in general, that a lot of them just see it as a base that they need for that altered path.
Well, the thing about it is, I think that if you do university right, the bulk of your learning, because essentially university, you grow so much as a person, especially if you're away from home, you grow so much as a person during those 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. The bulk of your learning comes outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
Like the most important things I learned throughout university were experiences with other people or whatever, and it was outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
Like the biggest lessons I took from university were outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
And interacting with other people and seeing how the world works and seeing how things work and just understanding it that way and having my own perceptions of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you learn self-discipline.
Yeah. Absolutely. And another thing about parents not knowing their kids as well as they think they do. Think of you in high school.
Yep.
Think of anybody in high school, how they were at parties, how they were at school, and then think of them or you at a family gathering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true, man.
The older you get, the less different it becomes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start finding who you are as a person. But during high school, even in your 20s, your early 20s, I can honestly say I do not fully know who I am yet.
Yeah, not even close, man.
Obviously, I hope to perpetually be growing as a person, but I don't know who I am yet. And I think that if anybody truly says, yeah, I know exactly who I am in high school or in university or soon thereafter, I think they're lying to you or lying to themselves.
They should write a book on how.
On what?
On how to. They should write a book.
I just honestly think that you're just growing so much as a person throughout high school, throughout your university years, throughout those first fresh years out of university, that you don't know who you are, and you're just trying to figure out your place in the world and your role. And I think that if you fall into a role, for lack of a better term, it's kind of whack. Like, you should create your own space in the world. You should figure out who you are and let other people accept you for you.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Figure out who you are as a person. Don't let other people define you.
And you know what, man? Like, even to bring it to one of the most relational things is partying. Okay, like you said, partying, family in high school. Think of the people. So you went away for university.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone comes back home to that one bar.
Yep.
In the summer or whatever the case. Think of even just how you used to see people party in high school. How that one person you see, if you will, compared to now when you haven't seen them, I don't know, for like 2 years because they did their thing at university and you did yours. And then you come home in that summer and you even see how their partying changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
everyone is constantly going through this change. And like
the
loser you see always getting drunk, you know, like.
They're not cool anymore.
No, man. It's not.
They might have been cool. It might have been cool in high school, like, oh wow, he can drink, like whatever. And if he's still doing
underage
that stuff,
alcohol,
like if he's still doing that stuff, and it's like that's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Like, great, you can smoke a lot of weed and stuff. Like that's not cool anymore.
No, man, and that's the case. Like, there's no like in high school it used to be who has the hookup on alcohol, right?
Yeah,
who has the hookup on weed?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's not cool. Like,
but now it's like, who has the hookup on a new job? You know what I mean? Like, who's got that hookup?
You know who's coolest right now?
Who?
The person with a good job, a good stable job, or somebody who's doing their thing, somebody who's doing something with their lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like somebody who's just doing the same stuff from high school, just hanging out in their parents' basement, not really doing anything productive. It's like when you ask somebody, so what do you do with your day? And somebody goes, okay, so I get up at 4:30. I train. I'm using you as an example.
Yeah.
I train athletes. Then I go work on some connections. I go do this, and this, and they're busy from 5 a.m. in the morning till like 10 p.m. at night, and they're busy. Their day is full. Or somebody who goes, so I wake up, I go on a run, I go back home, eat breakfast, go to work, go to the gym, like do something, like they're always doing something productive.
Yeah.
Those people are like, wow, like I admire that.
You know what, man? Just to go, like it's not even a matter of just keeping yourself busy either.
No.
Like you're getting, for the lack of a better way, you're getting shit done.
Yeah. I'm gonna bleep that one out. But yeah, no. If you are doing productive things and people can see your productivity, like that's admirable.
Yeah.
But people who are, so I wake up at like 11, 12, sometimes 1, hang out, like do nothing, play video games, do nothing more, and then like I go to the bar, like what?
Where do you get the money too?
Mommy and daddy?
Yeah.
What kind of question is that? Like
money bars.
Like are you happy?
Yeah.
Does that make you happy? If that makes you happy?
You know what? There's only one day that's allowed, and it's if you have like a function or gathering or something, and maybe you have a little bit too much, so you've been on too late.
Yeah, like honestly, don't burn yourself out. If you need that release, whatever, do you? You know what I mean? But don't make it a habit. Don't make that an everyday thing.
And you know what? It's like even talking about that busy day though. I think what a lot of people don't understand yet, and I think again it's because we're in this startup era.
Yep.
I think people don't understand. You don't have to wake up at like 4 a.m, do work, whatever. Like, it's quality versus quantity when it comes to that. Absolutely. I know a lot of people that can get like A to Z done from 6 a.m. till 12 p.m, and they're like their day, they're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the quality of that 4 hours is way better than the guy sometimes that wakes up at 4. He has to do this, and then he spans his day till 10. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. But
unless you're obviously like going out and stuff,
and zero quality.
Yeah.
Again, that's not cool.
Yeah, not at all.
What I mean, zero productivity is not cool.
Yeah. That's, you know what? That's the key. I think is productivity. Productivity to what you're doing. Like I can honestly say, man, if I'm able to sleep in till 7 a.m, I will. But
sleep in till 7. Most people are not like that.
Honestly, man, if I really can wait to start, I will.
Yeah.
But it depends how much productivity I got done, or how productive I was the day before.
You know why, though?
You know what?
That's rooted in your passion for what you're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of people is like, nah, let me just take the day off.
Yep.
It's because they're doing it to say they're doing it. Maybe they're not really passionate about it, or maybe they just want the day off. Maybe they're burnt out. Whatever.
Yeah.
But Do you take days off?
Do I?
Yeah.
Personally, man, I try on Sundays just to like relax.
Trying's not doing. Do you? Do you really relax? Or are you, in the back of your mind, are you thinking, you know what, let me just write up this plan for...
You know what, though? That's the thing. Because I put a passion in with a business.
Yeah.
So my passion's always going on in the back of my mind. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know?
If you're passionate about it, you're always thinking.
Put it this way. For a physical day off, absolutely on Sundays.
Okay.
Sunday's a physical day off of... I'm not in the gym with any athlete unless it's like, you know, damage control.
Yeah.
I'm not really making calls
Yeah.
on Sundays. Like, everyone's usually off on Sundays anyways.
I don't know why. Like, Sundays are like an inherently lazy day.
You're supposed to be. If you ask your parents, man, everything was closed. It used to be closed on Sundays when they were younger.
Everybody's
Grocery
going to
stores. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not religious anymore.
Hey, man. Some people are. Some people
People
church
are.
is still busy.
Church is, man, but you know what? Going into religion, it's always touchy, right? But, like, I feel, too, now, everyone's starting to shape their own beliefs. I feel like people are digging deeper with the historic part of religion now.
Yeah. I think people are just honestly starting to think for themselves.
Yeah, and really figure it out.
Or letting other people think for them by way of social media. But, like, if you think for yourself and you think, okay, you know what? This story doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you start finding loopholes in it and stuff like that. It's like, well, why is it like this? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're just on the internet and somebody has a quote from the Bible and they say this and tell you why it doesn't make sense, like, that doesn't make sense. Well, maybe that's about context, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you read the entire story and then have your own idea from it?
Okay.
Right?
Last topic then, to wrap it up since we're on this.
Yeah.
What do you think of those, how to term it, Facebook knowledged, BuzzFeed knowledged people? What do you think of that? Like, what do you think? What do you think of the people that just go in off of one article they've read? Like, for the whole religion thing.
Yeah, I think that,
for example.
Honestly, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think that people need to think for themselves. I think that people need to stop basing their opinions off of titles.
Yes.
I think they need to practice at increasing their attention span to more than 140 characters.
Absolutely.
And I also think that if they really want to form an opinion about something, they need to go to the root of it. If they see a story saying Trump is stupid because he said this, well, they're like, oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, why don't you go back to the entire speech that he made, or the entire comment he made, and see why he made it, and this and that.
And learn
about it. Not saying that
it.
I'm a Trump supporter by any means.
No.
But
he's a funny guy.
He's very entertaining. He's extremely entertaining. And I think he's bullshitting us all. To be completely honest. But regardless, I think you need to really get to the root of it and think, okay, how do I feel about this? Not how they feel about this.
Yeah.
How do I feel about this?
You know what, man? And I think people have to actually start understanding what each platform they're using is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we're in that era now. Like, my mom's a teacher, right? And I remember when we were in grade 8 or grade 7 or grade 6, whenever we had a problem with someone, it was face-to-face.
Yeah.
Right? You deal with it, game over. You want to fight? Okay, absolutely.
Yeah.
But now, even she's dealing with problems going on Twitter. So in 140 characters, people aren't even using the right social media pages for the right things. In 140 characters, someone's chopping someone else up.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to engage. Because Twitter, the whole reason it started was engagement.
Yeah.
Right? Engage in 140 characters. Go ahead. But now we're even in on that. Like, when it comes back to the whole title thing, everyone's trying to be big and bad coming out of a page.
Yeah.
Like, out of a page, man. Not even physically trying to be big and bad.
Yeah. Like, cool.
Yeah, I know.
Like, realistically, and honestly, like, I think we're older and able to realize that's not cool. Like what are you accomplishing?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't like what you're saying, and I think you're saying stuff about me, I'll unfollow you. But again, like, people who are younger, they're like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really, like, this sucks. And And that's honestly, it's just a different way of high school and elementary school drama. Because think of it this way. Think of instead of Twitter, when we were younger, is MSN. Think of somebody putting like
MySpace.
something. Yeah, like think of somebody putting something in their status about you,
Yeah.
the MSN name about you. Like it's like, hey man.
And then high school was BBM.
BBM was a monster. BBM was a beast.
Yeah, man.
Oh my! If you didn't have 100 contacts and you had to delete one to add somebody else, you weren't cool.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. But you know what? And that's what it all ties back to now is like with uAssociate is like you want to find that deeper, not really deeper meaning, but you want to find what's behind it.
Yeah.
You know, going back to like the
associate
Facebook
with
or
what
whatever.
you feel relates to you best. You want to associate with a group or a person or a message that,
or even just yourself.
Exactly. But it's about you finding what you want to associate with, not falling into something that you feel somebody should be in. You know what I mean? Or you think that you should be in, but you don't really want to be in it. It's just something you think you should. No, you want to associate with what you, as a person, want to be in. What's right for you at that point in time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Just associated.
Essentially.
Basically.
Essentially.
Well, I mean,
I think that
cuts us off for today.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I had fun. I hope you guys had fun listening.
That's a pretty good first segment.
I'd say so.
Why not?
Next week, I hope it only gets better.
We can only hope, man. Like Star Wars.
Yeah,
A New
Hope. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Watching. Can we edit that?
I think we can.
Okay,
we'll ask
cool.
Chris, my brother.
And hopefully you guys tune in again next week, and hopefully we can provoke some of your own thought and help you in some way.
Yeah, guys, and you know what? Actually, we're gonna post. We'll attach a link where you can contact us.
Yeah.
If you have anything.
Yeah.
Want to just add in? We're easy.
Twitter. You want to plug your Twitter?
Yeah. We'll go for Twitter too. We'll have Chris make them pop up at the bottom of this. This is on YouTube, by the way, guys. If you're just tuning in.
So will it be like right here?
Yeah, here? Right underneath, or you can come up here. Figuring it.
That'd be cool. I want it right there. I want it right here.
Man. I kind of want it to go in front of my face.
Actually, I want it here, and then when I point up here, I want it here too.
Magic dots. All right, man. Sounds good. Well, guys, we'll be back next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.